Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. In the name of Allah, the most compassionate, the most merciful. May Allah's peace and blessings be upon the soul of the Holy Prophet of Islam, Muhammad, and his immaculate family. The brothers and sisters around the world, Assalamu alaikum, and welcome to Quran and Today's Life. In this series of programs, we're discussing Quranic issues and concepts, and we are trying to catch some practical points from them. In our recent programs, we started talking about the prophets from a Quranic point of view. We started from Prophet Adam and then his wife, Lady Eve, and after that we went to Prophet Nuh. In our recent programs, let's say 2-3 recent programs, we have been talking about the Prophet Nuh and different stories that Quran narrates concerning his life, about his nation, about the believers who joined him and accepted his invitation, and those who failed to come with him, and concerning the story of the ark that was built based on Allah's order. Inshallah, we shall continue a discussion concerning the story of that huge storm that happened with Allah's punishment, in fact, and also the quality of, making of the ark. Hujjatul Islam Sheikh Hadi Walipur, Islamic scholar, will be helping us with his presence in this show and his scholarly answers to the questions that will be posed concerning the Quranic questions that we have. Sheikh Hadi, salamu alaikum, and welcome to this show, and thanks for accepting our invitation.
Thank you. Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you, brother. If you remember, we have been discussing concerning the ark that the Prophet Nuh was in fact missioned to make based on Allah's order and, let's say, revelation. You told us that he started to make it while he was not, let's say, an ark maker. Can you please tell us how long did it take to prepare it, and what information can we grasp from Quranic teachings in this regard concerning the ark? And after that, inshallah, and the preparation for the storm, what happened, then how did this storm started to happen? Please give us some information in this regard.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. According to some narrations, this making lasted about 50 years.
50 years?
Yes, according to narrations. And about this ark, we have some verses in Quran. In chapter Mu'minun, verse 27, we have فَأَوْحَيْنَا إِلَيْهِ أَنِ اصْنَعِ الْفُلْكَ بِأَعْيُنِنَا وَوَحْيِنَا.
True.
So we revealed to him, saying, make the ark before our eyes and according to our revelation. That I mentioned and explained it. فَإِذَا جَاءَ أَمْرُنَا وَفَارَتْ التَّنُّورُ. And when our command is given and the valley overflows, it was a sign for Prophet Nuh. فَاسْلُكْ فِيهَا مِنْ كُلِّ زَوْجَيْنِ اثْنَيْنِ.
When this sign happened,
yes, you must take into it of every kind a pair. So we have some narrations from Imam Sadiq, peace be upon him, that these pair were 8 pairs from some animals like goat and other sheep and others. And in following we have وَأَهْلَكَ إِلَّا مَنْ سَبَقَ عَلَيْهِ الْقَوْلُ مِنْهُمْ. And your followers accept those among them against whom the words has gone forth. وَلَا تُخَاطِبْنِي فِي الَّذِينَ ظَلَمُوا إِنَّهُمْ مُغْرَقُونَ. And don't speak to me in respect of those who are unjust, surely they shall be drowned.
So lots of questions here.
Yes.
How about his wife?
About his wife.
Because as you said in the previous program, that his wife was among those who did not believe in him.
Yes. According to Torah, they say, because he had 2 wives.
So which wife she is that Quran talks about her?
The second wife, Quran was talking about the second wife. According to narrations, he has 2 wives. Yes. One was Amura and second was Rabi'ah. This Amura and he has some sons, and the second one the same. According to Torah and Old Testament, this second wife has entered to the ark. But in Quran, we don't have any talking about this wife, this bad wife. It seems that he has been drowned.
Okay. How about his son? Because it's famous that anyone who, denies or refuses to accept his father's word, they say that you are like the son of Nuh.
Yes.
So it means that even it's famous in Quran, as Quran says, his son was not, obeying the father and did not obey even Allah the Almighty. Is it true?
Yes, there's an interesting point about his son. Because we can suppose that Prophet Nuh's wife, at the time of this flood, was alive or not. Maybe he was dead.
His son, you mean?
No, his wife.
His wife, okay.
Maybe she was dead before this flood. But if she was alive, Prophet Nuh didn't ask Allah for saving her. Because she was one of the unbelievers. So, and we see in this verse, وَلَا تُخَاطِبْنِي فِي الَّذِينَ ظَلَمُوا إِنَّهُمْ مُغْرَقُونَ. Don't speak with me about these disbelievers. So, and Prophet Nuh has obeyed God, because he didn't speak about his wife with Allah. But we see he has asked Allah about his son. So it's an interesting point. That
while Allah told you not to ask me for those who, were among disbelievers, how come that you are inviting me, you are asking me to, in fact, save your son?
So, inshallah, we mentioned this point.
So what is the answer?
Yes. It seems that, according to history, and according to these verses, this son was one of the hypocrites. He didn't say to his father, I don't believe in your mission. He said, no, I believe in your mission. But at the last moment, he denied his father's mission. And because of that, Prophet Nuh has asked Allah, no, he is my son. He was one of the believers. But Allah said, no. At the first time, you don't know. I know. He was not believing in you, in your mission. It seems that, and some interpreters has said
back this notion. Well, thank you very nice. Concerning his wife and his son, his wife, was clear that she was not among the believers, but as you said, it was not, mentioned in the Quran whether she was saved or not, since it has the possibility of her death at that time. And the son was, like, as you said, he could be among the hypocrites. Inshallah, we shall continue discussing other aspects of this story after a short break, if you don't mind. And please stay tuned, we'll be back. This is Quran Today's Life and our discussion concerning the prophets from Quranic point of view. Prophet Nuh is the subject of our discussion. We have been talking about the Nuh's ark and the storm, the events that happened around, before, within and after the storm of Nuh, as Quran says. We are very interested to know what Quran exactly says in this regard, and that's why Sheikh Hadi Walipur will be helping us. Sheikh Hadi told us that the process of making this ark took some 50 years. And there was a sign by Allah the Almighty, as you said, that when the water reaches to a certain point, this is the time that storm is going to be started. You told us about those who failed to join him. How about the other believers? Did they enter this ark? Who were all the people, all animals and different things that who entered this ark and were among the saviors?
Yes. According to, again, Torah, because as you know, I want to compare with these books, sacred books. According to Torah, only Prophet Nuh and his family has entered the ark.
How about the other believers?
Torah is silent about other believers.
How about Quran?
But Quran said no. Believers and his family.
Believers and his family.
Yes, believers and his family.
Minus his wife and son.
Yes. He doesn't talk about the wife, but Quran talks about the son. Instead, Torah doesn't talk about this son.
Very nice.
This son. But yes, after making the ark and after the storm, Allah Ta'ala has said, وَمَا آمَنَ مَعَهُ إِلَّا قَلِيلٌ. It means that they were some believers to Prophet Nuh. And then Allah Ta'ala in chapter Hud, verse 41, says, وَقَالَ ارْكَبُوا فِيهَا بِسْمِ اللَّهِ مَجْرَاهَا وَمُرْسَاهَا. And Allah has said, embark in it in the name of Allah, be it sailing and its ensuring. Most surely my Lord is forgiving and merciful. Then Allah Ta'ala has said, وَهِيَ تَجْرِي بِهِمْ فِي مَوْجٍ كَالْجِبَالِ. It's not like common storms. It was like a miracle.
Mm-hmm.
And it moved on with them amid waves like mountains.
MashaAllah.
وَنَادَى نُوحٌ ابْنَهُ. So I mentioned the point. Nuh, till this time,
Did not know that his son is not among the
Yes.
believers.
and because of that, he called his son.
To come and join
Yes.
us. True.
And Nuh called out to his son, and he was aloof. وَكَانَ فِي مَعْزَلٍ يَا بُنَيَّ ارْكَبْ مَعَنَا. O my son, embark with us and be not with the unbelievers. But he said, قَالَ سَآوِي إِلَى جَبَلٍ يَعْصِمُنِي مِنَ الْمَاءِ. He said, I will betake myself for refuge to a mountain that shall protect me from the water. قَالَ لَا عَاصِمَ الْيَوْمَ مِنْ أَمْرِ اللَّهِ. Nuh said, there is no protector today from Allah's punishment, but إِلَّا مَنْ رَحِمَ.
Allahumma rahim.
It's very interesting. Even at the last moment, Nuh was hoping in the saving his son, because he said, إِلَّا مَنْ رَحِمَ. So he was hoping.
Nice. What does it mean? Illa man rahima?
إِلَّا مَنْ, because Nuh said, even if Allah wants, He can save in this storm and in this flood, He can save somebody.
If you face Allah's mercy, maybe.
Yes.
True.
It seems that, and it shows that he was hoping
Yeah.
about his son.
Mm-hmm.
وَحَالَ بَيْنَهُمَا الْمَوْجِ. And but he who has mercy, Allah man rahima, and a wave intervened between them, فَكَانَ مِنَ الْمُغْرَقِينَ. And so he was one of the drowned.
So who, how about other believers? Were they among those who saved in the ship?
Yes.
All of
Yes.
them? All the
Yes,
70
yes.
people who
Yes, yes.
were? Okay. And how about the animals? What was the philosophy of choosing some kinds of animals? Could he, start choosing among variety of animals there?
Yes, it's a question about the flood of Nuh. It was over all the world, or it was no, special for some regions.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have exact statements about this question. But in Surah As-Saffat, we have some verses that maybe can help us. In chapter Saffat, verse 75, we have وَلَقَدْ نَادَانَا نُوحٌ فَلَنِعْمَ الْمُجِيبُونَ. Nuh did certainly call upon us, and most excellent answers of prayer are we. وَنَجَّيْنَاهُ وَأَهْلَهُ مِنَ الْكَرْبِ الْعَظِيمِ. And we delivered him and his followers from the mighty distress.
So this ahlahu here means his followers.
His followers.
Not necessarily his family.
Yes. And our narration confirmed this point. This verse, وَجَعَلْنَا ذُرِّيَّتَهُ هُمُ الْبَاقِينَ. And we made his offspring the survivors. This verse shows that this stone was over all world. Because there are some discussions about that origin. As you know, majority of people were living in Bainun Nahrain, or Mesopotamia, in Iraq. Majority of people...
Even the Prophet Nuh was from there?
Yes. According to history, they were living in this region. And the earth at that time, because as you know, we have in our traditions Dahvul Arz.
Yeah.
Dahvul Arz means all the earth was under the water.
Yeah.
And then some parts of this earth has appeared.
Exactly.
So then gradually, and in this time we have the earth, for example, with this water and this earth. I mean,
even at the moment, 75% of the earth is made of water. Just to leave the viewers to be in the thirst of the rest of the story, I should like to say the rest of this story after a very short break that we shall have now. Please stay tuned, and we'll be listening to the rest of the story of the flood of Nuh from Sheikh Hadi. Welcome back to Quran and Today's Life and our discussion about the story of the flood that happened at the time of the Prophet Nuh alayhi salam. We have been talking about the time before the flood happened and those who in fact were saved and entered the ark of the Prophet Nuh. Sheikh Hadi, the respected expert of the show, told us that this flood basically happened at the time, at the place close to the place that we at the moment know as Iraq, somewhere that was famous as Bainun Nahrain. So this place, as today, we see most of even the prophets, as we have some information, were living at that area. So the point that is under doubt is whether the whole earth was covered with water at that time with the flood that is famous, and Quran talked about it, or just that limited area in Bainun Nahrain was covered with water. One more thing I wanted to add in the last phase of this show is to tell us where this ark started to move and when it landed. I would be thankful to have your answer.
Thank you. Yes, as I said, it seems that this storm and this flood covered all the earth. Because in Surah Safat we have وَجَعَلْنَا ذُرِّيَّتَهُ هُمُ الْبَاقِينَ. It seems that only the offsprings of Nuh were survived at that time, and we don't have any offspring for others. وَتَرَكْنَا عَلَيْهِ فِي الْآخَرِينَ. And we perpetuated to him among the later generations. So it seems that flood covered
the
all
whole earth.
The whole areas. Mm-hmm. But about the continuation of this storm, after some days, And about these days, we have some narrations. It was 6 months.
It took 6 months.
Yes.
Mhm.
Or it was 40 days. We have some narrations. After that, we have in chapter Hud, verse 44, وَقِيلَ يَا أَرْضُ ابْلَعِي مَاءَكَ وَيَا سَمَاءُ أَقْلِعِي. And it was said, O earth, it was a revelation to the earth and an order to the earth. O earth, swallow down your water, and O cloud, clear away.
Very nice.
And the water was made to abate, and the affair was decided. وَغِيضَ الْمَاء وَغُضِيَ الْأَمْرُ وَاسْتَوَتْ عَلَى الْجُودِ. And the ark rested on the Judi.
Where is this Judy located?
Judi,
At the
as
moment,
you know,
yeah.
yes, Judi has 2 meanings. One of the meanings of Judi is every strong and hard mountain. So it's general.
It has a general meaning.
Yes. But we have according to Torah. According to Torah and some other narrations, Islamic narrations, this Judi was a special mountain. And it located in Turkey these days. And it was name of a special mountain, Judi.
Does it have, still have the same name?
Yes.
Nice.
Judi, we have the mountain Judi in Turkey.
Okay.
Yes. And we have some other discussions about this mountain. Some scholars are saying that no, this mountain is locating, for example, in Iran. Some said no in Syria. Some said no in Iraq.
Yeah.
So, but the most famous one
Is the
is
one
the-
which is in Turkey.
yes.
So how come now at the moment the grave of the Prophet Nuh, if I'm not mistaken, is in Iraq? So if it was landed there, they did not continue living there in Turkey, so they went back to Iraq?
Yes, because as you know, Iraq is a sacred
Land.
land. And yes, returned back to this area. For example, as you know, the grave of Adam is located
Yeah,
in Iraq and near to the grave of Imam Ali.
very true.
And Prophet Nuh and Prophet Adam, their grave are located to the
same grave
the
of
same
Imam.
grave of Imam Ali.
Peace be upon them all.
Yes.
No, what happened after that? Did he start again preaching, or he died after that?
No, because no need for preaching, because they were believers.
Yeah, no,
They were believers,
exactly.
and yes, it's famous that Prophet Nuh had 3 sons, Sam, Ham, and Japheth, and these 3 sons, and the famous one is Sam. We say Samic language.
Yeah.
We have. They spread it out on the earth, and they had lots of generations.
So how come again there were some idol worshipper after them? Because they were the mere believers on the earth. There were no other people except the believers on the earth.
Yes.
How come they turned to become unbeliever again among
Yes,
even their
yes.
generation?
Like the generation of Adam. Adam and Eve were
Yeah.
believers.
Very true.
But the generation, unfortunately, because as you know, it's our problem in religion. After some times, some believers, they change their way. For example, I said, they knew Allah.
Yeah.
They knew angels. They knew all laws, all religious laws. But for some interests, they changed their way
Exactly.
for some worldly desires.
Is there any evidence from Quranic, let's say, teachings at how many years after the flood did the Prophet Nuh passed away?
Yes, we have some narrations that,
But not Quranic.
not
witnesses?
Quranic verses, about 300 years
After the flood.
or 400 years after the flood.
Mm-hmm.
Or, as I mentioned, he has lasted for 2,500 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So, which prophet continued with his, in fact, the religion and the religion that Prophet Nuh brought?
Yes, according to the Quran in Surah Safat, we have Salamun ala Nuhin fil alamin. In chapter Safat, verse 79,
Yeah.
peace and peace to Nuh among the nations. إِنَّا كَذَلِكَ نَجْزِي الْمُحْسِنِينَ. Thus do we surely reward the doers of good. And this is one of the points about the Prophet Nuh. I said before that according to Torah, Prophet Nuh was not a really good man.
Prophet?
Prophet Nuh. Because according to Torah, he drank wine and some other
His personality was not
actions.
into very good at that.
But Quran said, no. We surely rewards to the doers of good. And then, إِنَّهُ مِنْ عِبَادِنَا الْمُؤْمِنِينَ.
Very true. That's totally true. That he was among the good believers. But who was replaced by him? Which prophet? I mean, continued this.
Yes. We have. إِنَّهُ مِنْ عِبَادِنَا الْمُؤْمِنِينَ.
Yeah.
Surely he was one of our believing servants. ثُمَّ أَغْرَقْنَا الْآخَرِينَ وَإِنَّ مِنْ شِيعَتِهِ لَإِبْرَاهِيمَ.
Very nice. I mean, it was the
Most
prophet.
surely, yes. Abraham followed his way.
Among the Ulul Azm of the resolute prophet, it was the Prophet Ibrahim who continued his way. Okay, thank you very much, Sheikh Hadi, for good information that
Thank
you
you so much.
provided for the show and for the respected viewers of this show. And inshallah, we hope to be at your service with the life of other prophets in other shows somewhere, inshallah, if there will be any
Prophet
opportunity.
Ibrahim, inshallah.
Inshallah ta'ala. And thank you very much for joining with us to the end of this show and the, let's say, last show on the life of Prophet Nuh from Quranic perspective. Till another program, another show, another discussion from the teachings of Quran. Have a very good time. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.